Going back to the subject twos, the essence of a subject two is them just quick claim deeding the property to you. But what really makes the subject two a subject two is how you write the contracts. And that is like the most important thing of the subject two.
But I do want to answer this question though by Chua. She says this is the same as assuming. I would say it's not, because assuming, you have a lot of different type of things going on there. A seller that's selling a home that's where the loan is assumable, it's probably worth, for example, let's just say it's 500K. The loan that's assumable is probably 200K or 300K. They're not going to sell it to you at 300K, that the loan that they're assuming. They're going to probably want to sell it at market value, which is 500K. So the buyer still has to come in cash most of the time with the difference, because most banks are not going to buy a property being second in title. They're going to want that first lien deleted first. So I wouldn't say that it's the same.
So yeah, it's definitely not the same. So when you buy a property, you get two documents pretty much. There's a note and then there's a deed. So in a subject two, the note stays in place, but the deed gets transferred to the new owner. So that's how subject two works. In a mortgage assumption, the deed gets transferred to the new owner. The note also gets transferred to the new owner. It's just that the new owner sometimes get to keep like the same terms and those kind of things of the original note. So that would be assuming somebody else's mortgage. And like what you said, Chia, most of the times you're gonna have to pay a premium to assume somebody's mortgage. Especially nowadays with all those ones that were locked at like 2.8, 3%, you're gonna be paying a premium to assume those.
Because remember, those homes were probably during 2020 COVID year, and that's like 4 years ago.
Right.
Prices went up. They're not gonna let it go for the price they got it in 2020.
And plus, most loans are not assumable anyway.
I do have a question for you, David. For somebody that's trying to become an investor, do they need a license? Because you're also a broker and an investor. Do they need to be licensed? This is probably one of the number one question I get asked.
Yeah, they don't need to be licensed to be an investor. So that's why anybody can just call themselves an investor, even if they haven't even had a property. There's a very low barrier to entry to call yourself an investor. But having a license does help, especially if you don't have any experience in it. Having a license will allow you to kind of understand the base language of real estate and kind of give you some experience into the transaction side of it, how houses or properties are bought and sold. So having the license, yeah, it really helps. And the plus side is you make commissions that you can put towards your investments. And the last thing that I'll add to it too, having your license. A lot of people, if they're investors and they're thinking about getting their license, I would hear a lot of agents say, you know, David, I want to get my license because I'm an investor and I don't want to work retail. I don't want to show homes. And to them, I would say, don't discount the retail side, because like for me, where do I find most of my deals? On the retail side? Because, you know, when I'm helping people, they trust me. The last way that I can help them is to buy their property. Then there, I found a deal right there. So if you are planning to get your license and you're an investor, don't discount working with buyers and sellers, because you find deals there.
Have you ever come into contact with like a conflict of being an agent and an investor because of your ethics of being a realtor?
No, personally, I have not, because, you know, I try to follow the laws to a T. I can't really speak for other states, but like here in Minnesota, we have pretty strict disclosure laws. All of our documentation, all of our disclosures, and I'm 100% transparent and upfront with every person that I come in contact with. They know that I'm a licensed person. They know my license number, and I give them my intentions up front. My intentions is to help them. But if I can't help them, you know, if they're a retail person, if I can't help them through the retail channels, then I can help them through the investment channels. And I make sure it's clear. My documentation is clear and everybody understands it. Going back to the subject twos, the essence of a subject two is them just quick claim deeding the property to you. But what really makes the subject two a subject two is how you write the contracts. And that is like the most important thing of the subject two. Because if you just go and deed it, the property to another person, but you don't write a contract, yes, in essence, that's a subject two, but you're opening yourself up to a lot of liability, and especially if you're a licensed person. I have never had issues with that, but you just want to be very transparent.
Yeah, man, with that, I'm gonna close this out. Chi Chi fams, thank you guys again for tuning in today. Later, Chi Chi fams.